Okay, we're there again. We're back. It's Bank of Canada on Wednesday. The Bank of Canada announcement is Wednesday, just a couple of days. So what's going to happen? Look, I have to keep coming back to this well over and over and over. And it's going to just be about the same for the whole time until they finally stop cutting. But what's going to happen on Wednesday? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Cuts be happening. That's what's going to happen. Look, it's going to be 25 basis points or it's going to be 50 basis points. Remember, that means 0.25% or 0.5%. They're going to cut one of those two. Do I know exactly which one? No. What do I think? I think it's probably going to be 0.25%. It's probably going to be 25 basis point cut. That's what I believe. But as I said 6 weeks ago, at the point of the last change, the last cut, we should stop being super focused on the cut, on just what is it? Did it happen? Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? How much is it going to be? We should realize that it's the trend we care about. The trend. Like, it's not this meeting. Yeah, I get it. It's the focal point. You have to pay attention, but it's not about this meeting. It's about the future of the Bank of Canada rate. And the future of the Bank of Canada rate is just down. Said it many times, but I have to say it again. Because there's actually more and more evidence every week. Every time we talk about this, there's more evidence. We had the former Bank of Canada governor, Stephen Poloz. He was the Bank of Canada governor before Tiff Macklem. He just came right out and said, hey, you can call it whatever you want. Canada is in a recession. Like Vibecession, this session, whatever session, we are in a recession. I don't give a damn. Yeah, because when you leave a job, you figure now, I had to be very careful what I said. Now I say whatever the fuck I want. Okay, so he's chirping. He's also right. Like, all I get is more information about layoffs, more information about difficulties, more information about increased default rates, increased consumer borrowing, reaching higher and higher levels because people are trying to get by. It's about the economy. James Carville, the famous campaign manager who got Barack Obama elected president of the United States. I'm not saying just him. There's a team. He always said, came back to the same thing. He said, about any political event, it's about the economy, stupid. Like, that's what it's about. And that's where we're at right now. It's about the economy. And the economy ain't good in Canada. It ain't getting any better anytime soon. So the future of Bank of Canada rate decisions is just cut. Again, whether it's 0.5%, 0.25%, that's not the most critical thing. The most critical thing is, when does it ever stop? Right now, it looks like it'll stop somewhere between 2.75% and 2.5%. That's a lot more cuts after Wednesday. A lot more. I mean, a 2.5% prime rate at the Bank of Canada is a 4.7% commercial prime, and that's a variable rate mortgage of around 3.7%. So that's a big difference from what we've experienced. Some of those variable rates were 5.45 and 6.95. So, 5.45 and 5.95. So they're nearly 6%. They were huge. So that's all come way down. So how to address this? How to plan for this? How do you plan? In the mortgage game, in my opinion, you take variable, because eventually fixed rates will drop at some point. They may not drop a ton. You may be able to get a fixed rate for 3.89, 5-year fixed 3.89, 3.79, 3.94. They're sort of in the low to mid fours today. That's the range of the rates. But that will happen. But if the economy is terrible for a while, the variable rate will be low. We've got one of the major banks in Canada suggesting that they believe by the end of 2025, the Bank of Canada rate will be 2%, not 2.5, 2%. So that's the way to approach this. To approach this is everybody's saying one thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying everybody has to take variable. Some people just can't handle it. It's just too much for them. They had such a bad experience when they took it before, or that's just not their personalities. They can't handle it. So take a 5-year fix. Take whatever you need to do. But if you're giving rate advice, you would say that the Bank of Canada will keep cutting and variable is a good option. It was a good option for 15 years. So it may become a good option again. So what is the thing to watch out for? What is the thing that's dangerous? Inflation is the thing to watch out for. Inflation is what's dangerous. Look, trying to figure out all the stuff Donald Trump is up to and how it's going to affect Canada is hard. Because some of it's true, some of it's false, some of it's just a story. I'm not sure Donald Trump's even sure himself how it's going to work out. But remember, the stuff about tariffs is not necessarily inflationary at all unless we have counter tariffs, unless Canada begins counter tariffs. I mean, it's really, really bad for the Canadian economy, tariffs are, but it's not necessarily guaranteed that it's inflationary. So inflation is the worry. Inflation is the only thing that could push Bank of Canada rates back up. That's the only thing. There's nothing else. So that's the thing to pay attention to. And so far, I don't think it's a big issue. So Wednesday, there will be a cut, whether it's a half or whether it's a quarter, there will be one. And there will, most importantly, continue to be cuts in 2025 all the way down.